G'day folks, it's Cortezerino. I am bringing you a very quick update for my 1.14 villager trading hall. You see, I've discovered something interesting. It turns out, or at least I think it turns out, I can't read code, but I have eyes and I've been watching. It seems that, you know how villagers will, at a certain time of day, they will go to their workstations? It seems that they're not just going to them, they are forgetting which workstation was theirs and they're researching for a new one that matches their profession. Why would that worry us? Because we've got AI. We've got the villagers doing their own pathfinding so they will walk to their own workstation. Well, that does bother us because we don't want one on that side of the trading hall linking with a workstation on that side. And it's really hard to get them to walk all the way around. But what is even worse? Let's say you have one armourer over here. I think they use the blast furnace. You've got one armourer on this side with the blast furnace, and you let a villager with no trade into that side, and suddenly he becomes an armourer. And you've got two armourers and only one blast furnace. And it's like, what's going on? This is confusing. Well, we can stop that from happening, guys, with a few little tweaks. But before we get on to that, there is one thing here that I would like to fix. It was a little bit of dodgy designing on my part. When the farmers are up on top of the composters at the back, they are just too far away from us to trade with. So we want to take this andesite wall here and move it back a block. Just like that. And then you can take this pillar away and take that first fence gate away, and we'll move the pillar backwards to there. So there we go. That's all done. And just so we can see the hats on the villagers, because we're breeding them in here, and when we're here, if they're up on the composters, we can't really see their heads to tell if they're a farmer or one of the guys we just bred. So what we're going to do is move the composters into the wall right there, and that will be much, much better. So the first change we want to make is just in the way that we use our trading hall. So first of all, start with your farmers. Before we breed, what we want to do is make sure we trade with every single farmer, and that means that will lock them into being farmers. See, if we have a lectern right there, at the moment, the farmers can't pathfind to it, so they are ignoring it. They're surrounded by walls and fence gates, so they are ignoring that. But as soon as we open these gates to let someone through, if we haven't traded with these guys, one of your farmers may turn into a librarian. He will see that, he'll see that he's able to pathfind it, and he might change. And we don't want that, so make sure you trade with all of them. And the next change we want to make, guys, is also to do with how we use the farm. See, we don't want to use signs to write down what our villager's trade is, because as soon as because they're always changing which workstation is theirs, as soon as his trades lock up and we need him to refresh, we're going to have to release them all so they can walk to their new workstation. So then we would have to change all our signs. So instead, what you want to do is name tag them with their trades. So you have to hold shift and then right click, and that way we always know what his trades are. And the third change in the way we use the farm, these guys that don't have a trade yet, that we've just bred up, we don't want to release them into here until we have locked them into a trade. So what you want to do is just test them out here. Put your lectern on top of the fence and you can go through their trades, breaking and replacing. And when you finally find what you want, there's a mending guy, trade with them, lock him into being a librarian, and do that with any other grown-ups you've got here that don't have a trade yet. And once you've done that, then let them out. And that way you're not going to end up with 2 or 3 guys all locked onto one blast furnace. And the final change that we want to make, guys, is the last thing we want is a librarian on this side of our trading hall linking up with a workstation on this side of the trading hall. That would be annoying, getting them to mix all the way around. It's easy enough to let them out on one side, but yeah, trying to get them to walk through the farmers and around to there, that would be painful. So what we're going to do is right against this pillar, just to the side of our fence gate there. We're going to knock out these blocks here and then put a layer of carpet down the bottom with another layer of carpet directly over the top. And this tricks the villagers into thinking they can't pathfind over that. It's just like having a wall. Then what we do is right down the center of the room, we do exactly the same thing, and then we'll put a little wall of it along the edge here as well. And that way they are not going to look beyond this carpet when they are looking for workstations. So that is how the carpet will look when you're done now, guys. So we've got this one up the front here, so when we are placing workstations here to get these guys to change, these villagers aren't going to accidentally lock onto that because they think they can't pathfind to it. And if we put a villager in here with no trade, even though we don't want any with no trades in this section now, I can put as many lecterns as I want here and he will not see any of them. You see, he hasn't changed yet. But I put one on this side of the carpet and boom. So it works perfectly. Now, something I'm very interested in, which may even be an improvement to what I've just shown you here, but I haven't tested it yet, but I will tell you what it is if you guys want to test it. What would happen if we put layers of carpet between each of these little sections, and we do the same thing around here, so this villager would think he can't pathfind anywhere? Will that mean that he will never look away from his own workstation there? That is something to test, guys. I think that would be very interesting. Let me know in the comments. Give it a go. Let me know in the comments if that locks them in permanently to the workstation right in front of them. I'm going to try it, but I haven't tried it yet. So I hope this update video helps you out, and this might explain why we are not seeing very many designs for 1.14 trading halls, because people must be wondering, scratching their heads, why won't their trades reset? Why do they keep losing their workstation and locking onto another? Well, that's the reason. But hopefully this trading hall will be working just fine now with these changes. So cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Cortezerino. I will see you later.